When organizational transformation happens at high velocity, the original signals are the first things to blur into noise. This constant adaptation carries a specific cost. When a system is forced to change its shape every time the environment shifts, its core identity eventually becomes unrecognizable. In high-stakes enterprise environments, this friction is a daily reality. The architect's focus on long-term systemic risks and unvarnished truth is often buried by the immediate demands of the project. There is a mismatch in values. The architect relies on accuracy to create meaning, but the corporate machine often prioritizes stakeholder comfort and the maintenance of a positive impression. If you spend years suppressing what you see to fit the mold of a specific culture, you aren't just adapting, you are overriding the logic that makes you an architect until the original signature is lost. Describing a failing reality is frequently labeled as unfiltered or negative. This leaves the individual in a state of profound professional disorientation. Before a system can grow, it requires orientation. It needs a baseline that accurately reflects where it currently stands, regardless of how uncomfortable that truth might be. An orientation framework acts as an anchor. It provides a way to stay steady when the surrounding environment becomes toxic, complex, or too noisy to read. Basic survival in an environment that values alignment over analysis requires a deliberate defense against forced assimilation. Solving this problem requires looking toward historical systems that have managed disorientation for centuries. Lighthouses are more than just historical objects. They are orientation infrastructures. Their purpose is to provide structural light, a fixed reference in a shifting environment. A lighthouse doesn't control the ships. They remain independent, charting their own unique paths. The light ensures they stay steady, even when the world goes dark. Orientation doesn't force a specific direction. It merely clarifies the reality of the landscape so people can navigate it safely. This same logic applies to the landscape of digital transformation and enterprise architecture. As systems scale, they require coherence. The logic must remain readable to the people tasked with managing it. Within this framework, guiding AI functions as digital structural light. Its role is to illuminate the available options and clarify the complexity, rather than replacing the human judgment required to make a decision. This approach turns chaotic noise into actionable reality, stabilizing a system even when it is under extreme pressure. But coherence in the present moment is only half the battle. A system making sense today is vulnerable if it forgets where it came from. This is the challenge of continuity, tracing meaning across time and bridging the gap between digital heritage and future governance. The Lux 143 framework asks how the connection between what a system was and what it becomes can survive a transformation. Survival isn't found in stubbornly resisting change. It is found by allowing the outer surface to shift while protecting the essential signature underneath. Operational methods and communication styles can adapt radically to meet the needs of the moment, but the core architecture, the inner truth of the system, remains fixed and recognizable. Continuity is about changing the skin while preserving the skeleton. Growth that erases the past is indistinguishable from destruction. Real evolution requires carrying the essential code of the past forward into every new iteration. Not everything worth preserving should remain completely unchanged. However, the foundational elements must stay recognizable, no matter what external pressures are applied. Evolution with memory is the formula that allows a system to grow without ceasing to be itself. The laws of orientation and continuity do not stop at the edge of enterprise architecture. They apply to the person standing at the center. The frameworks built to save corporate systems were actually the rules needed to save the architect's own identity from burnout. The friction at the office was the inevitable result of a capacity for truth hitting a container built for comfort. This realization leads to a change in strategy. Instead of contorting to fit an incompatible environment, the architect moves outside to build their own systems. The focus shifts from external survival toward the work of intentional authorship. This is the ultimate application of the architecture of continuity. It is the shift from managing the meaning of institutional systems to designing the actual conditions of a life.